Hello, my people. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to Mike at Night. Thank you very much for joining us once again. I tell you, we're going to ask you to share the live. We're going to wait for people to come in. We want to see as many people as possible come in on the live. So share the live, my people. Share the live. Okay. Okay. All right. Nicely. Okay, welcome. Today is the 18th of July. July is fast disappearing. I don't know where it's going, but it is fast disappearing. Nice to have all of you all on, nevertheless. And we're going to talk this evening again as to a wonderful, exciting topic. It's called the 7 things to avoid in men. So we're really talking to the women today. So make sure you tag somebody and say, listen, join us, join us. Angel Golden Wilson, good evening to you. Thank you very much for joining us. We're thankful to have you. Yes. Ask all your friends to join us. Mike at Night is on. All right, so we'll just wait for a little while for everybody to come on board with us. And then we're going to take it from there. All right, Linda. Hey, Linda, good to see you, Linda Juffield. Nice. Thank you for joining us. You inside. Rock and come in, people. Rock and come in. Share the live. Just press share and so that it goes on your page or profile so that other people will know that we are on and they'll join us. Yes, I'm seeing that the numbers climbing. So we want as many people as on as possible. This evening we're talking to the women. The kind of men to avoid, stay away far from. Don't give another chance. Want to catch them, you catch them. Good evening, Sheila. Nice having you. Yeah. You all rock and come in. Rock and come in. Let me see what's going on here. All right. So once you come on, just let me know that you're on. And if it's your first time, let me know it's your first time. And it's nice to always know which part of the world everybody is in. Myrtle, good evening. You get through tonight. So what happened all the other nights, Myrtle? You're trying to tell me you couldn't get through all the other nights? I'm surprised. All right. But we're glad to have you on this evening. Greetings, Heather. Welcome. Rock and come in. Rock and come in, my dear. So I think it was last week I was absent, so I apologize for that. I was in the lovely place called Aruba, and I was engaged there doing some things, so I could not do the program from there last week, Thursday. But I'm happy to be here today. Yes. Sandra Adams, good evening to you. Nice having you. Shorty. I'm not too sure if that is a male or is a female, but good evening. Yes, people. Join us. While we're waiting for them, let me just tell you about 2 interesting programs that we have coming up. We do have, let me give you this one first. This program is the Positive Intelligence program that we run every so often. We just running another cycle and we're going to have that tomorrow. We usually start off with an free introductory program. And that is tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock. That person will hear what this positive intelligence is. Positive intelligence seeks to get rid of the stressed way that we live our lives, change our thinking, because the way we think is the way we are. If we get to change the way we think, we change the kind of life that we have. I bet anybody who's stressed out, anybody who's frustrated, Your thinking is setting you up. If you change that, regardless of how people behave, you are going to be able to manage. The thing is, many people have not trained their brains to avoid other people's issues. So we lock in so hard on other people's issues that we cannot seem to overlook them. So we keep focusing on that, and that stresses us out. Positive intelligence is going to teach us now how to live life without that kind of regretful experience, and enjoy your own mental state. So that is July 19th, tomorrow at 7 o'clock online. There's a barcode, there's a Q code that is on it. If you are listening now and you want to register for this free program, just take your phone, put it on camera, and put it near to the screen, and you're going to see the link come up for you to register. As we said, it is free. And so register tonight is the last night. Tonight and tomorrow morning, you could register and be part of that program for tomorrow evening, 7 o'clock. All right, let me just say it again. You just take your camera and take a picture of this Q code, not a picture, but you bring it close to the Q code and it is going to pull up the link. If not, you can go to my website, www.michael.stewart. It's on the flyer, www.michael.stewart.com, and you can go there and register online even while we are running the program. All right, so that's one interesting thing that is coming up. Let me tell you about another interesting program that is coming up. This one is for boys. We feel that there is need for us to give support to boys. A lot of boys are falling through the cracks because we are neglecting our boys, both from a parental standpoint and from even as a society, we have been neglecting our boys. So we are going to have a boys polishing camp. This boys polishing camp is running from Monday to Friday, the 29th to the 2nd of August. It is not a sleepover camp. You come between the hours of 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock to the camp. The registration fee is $500. We will feed them every day, snacks. Normally we would have fed them lunch every day, but we don't have the kind of resources to do that. But we would do at least one day when they will have a full course meal, home cooked, on ware plate with knife and fork, where they can learn to eat with knife and fork as decent people. We found that there are people 17 years old accustomed using their hand inside of a box to pull up the drumstick, and they have never learned how to eat with knife and fork. We are going to change that. We also teach them how to tie ties and how to dress for different events. You cannot dress in the jeans, torn up jeans, for every single event you go. And jersey is not the thing for every event. So we teach them etiquette, both dress code and in table manners. We help them with their anger management, the emotional control, but we also have lots of fun and games. We're going to play some table tennis. We're going to play some cricket, wind ball cricket, that is. And we're going to have quite a bit of domesticating of our boys. So we help them to teach them to wash up their own dishes, clean up the kitchen and so on. Yeah, we think that they need to do that. We think that it is important that they learn. As long as you eat out of a dish, you should wash a dish. So it is going to be an exciting program from 5 to 10 years old and from 11 to 15 years old. So again, you can go to the website, www.michael.stewart, to register, or you can call the number that you see on the screen, 868-480-0080, to make arrangement for your boy, your nephew, your grandson to attend. Okay. I hope that we're going to have some of you registering. You know, people like to call late and register late and so on. We're not going to have that. We want people to do that with immediate effect. All right. So let me see where we are now. Davika, good evening. Charmaine, you're late again today, boy. Oh, your screen was sticking. Okay. Nicely. Rose Nicholas, good evening. Good to have you. All you, my lovely people. All right. So let's talk now about these men that some women seem to locate. You know, one of the things that I've recognized, and I'm saying this in all honesty, that we see so many women who are educated, successful in the boardroom, successful in the offices, but bum out when it comes to relationship and selecting a man. I don't know how it happens, but we're going to help you to know which kind of man to avoid. It makes no sense. You're going with a relationship with this notion. I could change him. I could make him love me enough that he would change. I could love him enough for both of us, me and him. There's no such thing. Heather Activa went over to Curacao. They would take you across the water in a small ferry. No, I didn't have a chance to leave Aruba. It was my second time. I was in Aruba 45 years prior. And this was my second time there. Lovely, lovely place. And those people have been so gracious and, I mean, just too adoring and awesome. But thank you, Heather. Right. So, we are talking about this concept where women make some very, very poor choices in men. Because let me tell you, and I will be plain, a man can only pursue a woman. He cannot decide on getting into the relationship. The woman has to decide that and accept him into that relationship. So therefore, she must be astute with her selection. Right? So when she does that, and ignore her responsibility. I know that there are some women who always say, hey, listen, we like the blame game and putting all the responsibility on women. I'm not into all of that issue there tonight. You understand me? If you get into a relationship, try as much as possible to have all the information you need on the kind of guy to avoid. Not all mutual funds are the same. There are some guys that you should stay away from. And I wonder, why is it some women even find themselves with these guys? You understand? And they turn around and blame them. They are looking for people who are above their grade, and they have found you. How did you end up finding them? And they are below your grade. All right? So I just want to help people with this. So I'm doing it from an article by Tina Fey. It's a July 17th article this year. Right? And today is the 18th. So Tina Fey, it's a psychology article. And Tina Fey tries to help us with 7 things to look for in a man to stay away from. And she gave her own experience in that journey that she herself was in. So listen up now, because I don't have it written on the screen. Somebody in the audience is going to help you by posting it as we go along. You see, when a man is a perpetual, pathological liar, don't make excuse for him. Stay away from that man. This is a man who is chronic dishonest. He will say such lies that will cause you to even doubt your own sanity. But you yourself know that the thing's not adding up. But I love him. You cannot love so much that you ignore that as a basic red flag. There are some guys that would lie you into hell. They lie and they lie. I'm not going to hide that. You understand me? You all know how I just drop it on the program. I'm not going to back for a woman. I'm not going to back for a man. Whenever a man is wrong, I will say so. When a woman is wrong, I'm going to say so. I don't have no horse in this race. You see? And so there are some men who will lie, and they will lie so incessantly that all you have to do is look and see things not adding up. You don't have to accuse him of being a liar. You know? You just have to hide some stuff in your heart. When he's saying certain things, record it in your memory banks in your head. And some other time, you can always come back with the question and see whether it lines up, because the liar has to keep track. A person who's telling the truth doesn't need to keep track. They just have to repeat what took place. And so when you listen to some of the lies that some people claim, some lies about the relationships that they have with people, lie about where they were, etc. You must ask yourself, no. You understand? And some guys actually get co-conspirators with the lie. They let their friends lie to back them up. I tell you I was with the guys and them, come. Call so and so. But he already told that guy to be more or less somebody who is going to corroborate his lie. Yeah, that has happened. You all hear me? So be aware. Anytime somebody is a liar, my mother used to say, anybody who could lie and lie with a straight face can commit murder. Because she had this thing against lies. If there's anything that she hated, was somebody who would tell lies, or the lies that they tell. All right? So, Virginia, good evening. Joan, nice having you. Rock and come in. All right. So, like, when somebody has to lie, and there are people who will lie, and they will lie straight face. They lie and they'll swear. They'll also become hostile, that you not even believe in them. But half the time, what they're angry at is that the lie in their head is so good, so foolproof. They get angry that you're not able to take it as a lie, even though they know it's a lie. So they get vexed. But they're not vexed with you. They're vexed with themselves, because this is supposed to be a very good lie. But if you find somebody who's a liar, and think of relationships that you've had, and think of some of the things that people would have said, that was a clear lie. No, there's a difference between lie and an untruth. An untruth is that the person saying the thing thinks that what they're saying is correct, but it is not true. But they think it is correct. So the person may have said that they like sometime that they might have said, last Thursday I went to the barber and I was not somewhere else on that day. No, that person may be telling their concept of the truth, because they genuinely think it was Thursday, but it might be something that they innocently got the day mixed up. So that's an untruth. Lie is that you know that you are telling something that is a falsehood, and you're repeating it. And a deceit is that you're saying it in such a way to mix truth with lie, to send somebody down the wrong trap hole, because you have mixed it with the truth and the lie. So they end up now taking what you're saying and concluding that you are telling the truth when you are actually deceiving them. Charmaine says a liar is like someone who keeps borrowing from one person to pay the other over and over again. He will lie to cover a lie, to lie to cover that lie. Of course, you have to. Manuelin, St. Thomas, good evening. You're in the house. Welcome. All the way from St. Thomas. Yes. Wendy Ann Norton, good to have you. Okay, my people. So there are women who have been in relationship with some serious liars. They have found out the lie. And they still, the love for the guy is going to cause them to overlook the lies. Well, what can you really trust if that is so? No, that is something that one has to consider seriously. All right, so that's number one. That perpetual, habitual, pathological, psychic liar. All right. Two, the person who is the man who emotionally manipulates you. He carries your emotion on a high, bring it down low. Carry it high, bring it down low. Creates an expectation and you're all anxious and you're looking forward and you're excited and so on, things going nice. And bam, he drops you low because he does something that just sends it the opposite direction. He gives you expectations, but the expectations don't come through. We're going to get married. We're going to get engaged. We're going to go do this. We're going to travel. We're going to do this and so on. Never, ever come through. Yes? Another man, for 12 years, he told the woman he would get married. But every year, he comes up with an excuse. Well, the car break down. We have to fix the car because it doesn't make sense we spend money on wedding because the car break down. And the next year, he come with the next one. But you're always promising her, yeah, but this one here we're going to do. Go ahead and make all the plans. Call your friends and so on. And she has called her friends so often. And having to tell them we have to call it off because things not working out and so on. And he's manipulating you, ma'am. What you doing with that man for 12 years? What are you doing with him for 12 years? That's not his issue. That's your issue. Put it squarely where it is. Goat will stretch rope as far as the rope will take it, and you're giving him too much rope. I'm telling you, women, that who have been allowing that to run on for so long. You understand me? But why we have to blame the woman? Yes, take the blame for it. Because when a woman puts boundaries on a man respects that. Have no boundary, and he will take you for a ride for as far as he will take you. Tell him I say so. Josan, Grenada. No, sorry. No, Josan, St. Lucia. Hey, Josan, you know we're in St. Lucia in the next 2 weeks, yeah? Yes? And people in St. Kitts, I'm there next week. And in St. Lucia the following week. Good evening. Rock and come in, yes, my dear Josan. Rock and come in. Yes, you're late. Late, very late. Okay, let me see who else is there. Eloise. Nice having you, Eloise. Emotionally manipulating you. That's right. Yep. They hold it as a bargaining chip, making excuses, blaming her for it not happening. Don't worry with them. First, you have to recognize that the person is manipulating you. That is the greatest revelation and illumination you could get when you actually recognize this man is taking me on a trip. You can't love so hard that you want to get married so much that you are going to go through that, because I tell you, if or when you do marry him, you are not going to stand for all of them lies. So don't wait to get married and then set down your foot. Set down your foot from now. London, Amit, sorry for being tardy. London boy, you have been missing for some days or some sessions now, you know. I'm wondering what you're up to. Yeah, Josan, we come in for the boys polishing camp that we usually come for every year. So we'll be there. All right. So my people, I know people saying that they're trying to get on. I don't know why they're not getting on. I don't have the ability to be able to help you all at this hour. But I hope that you all do get through. Rock and come in, people. All right, so for those who just come in late, we're talking about the 7 things to avoid in a man, and we're talking to the women and them this evening. A liar and a manipulator. Those are the 2 that we cover so far. Anytime he's manipulating you and giving you, setting you up with promises, promise after promise. Yes, some of them even promise. I got divorced my wife and we will get married. And you're waiting in vain. And then he come and say, well, you know, the children and them still small. So we had to wait a little bit. Children get big. Some of the children married. And he still say he waited. So you can't work out that yet. You want to tell me you can't work that out there? Man, let me tell you. They even, between the lie and the manipulation, you would have had even where somebody, a man would tell a woman, you know, me and the wife, we don't get along. I just did because the house in both of we name and we have to pay the bills and the mortgage, but it's you I want, and so on. So you giving him full sex. You giving him full relationship on the outside. Me and she don't sleep together. We sleep in separate rooms. We do have sex with each other and so on. And then I remember a lady called me and said, Mike, why man so boy? I said, what do you mean? He said, this man I'm with, tell me he and his wife done, they only inside of the house, they don't have no sex, and his wife is pregnant now for him. Why man so? This is not about a man here, ma'am. You couldn't work that out? Couldn't you work that out? No, don't throw that on the man. His lie worked, and you swallowed it. Good evening, Joy. Nice having you, Joy. Camille, much love to you too, my dear. Everybody, what can come in? What can come in, people? We're dropping it tonight. Well, we don't drop it every night, but we're dropping it again tonight. All right, so we gave you, how many of them we give you? We give you about 3 there, little while. Okay? The manipulator. The manipulator, the man doesn't, this man here who takes you for a ride. And if you encounter an emotional manipulator, because here's what happens with the emotional manipulator. He traps you. You feel as though you can't leave him because emotionally you are tied to him. And even though he treats you well to keep you, but he treats you so bad that you're not happy staying. You understand the difference? You're not happy staying because he treats you bad. He lets you down. He does not deliver on his promises, but he treats you enough to keep you. In another part of psychology, they call that breadcrumbing. They give you enough breadcrumbs for you to follow the trail, but not enough to fill you. That's what breadcrumbing is. Okay? Wise up, wise up. Some next time we might talk about men, some women to avoid with a 90-foot pole. Stay far from them type of women. We might do that next week. Let me see. All right. So, where are we now? Let me give you one and then we take a break. What can come in, people? The narcissist. Narcissist, you know, people use narcissist for every flippant reason. Here is what some people use narcissist to mean. If you don't agree with somebody, they'll call you a narcissist because they don't agree with your point. So you're a narcissist. That's not what narcissism is. Narcissism is when somebody is so enamored with their own selves, so in love with their own self, rate themselves so high, and rate you down below them. They love themselves. They project themselves. That's in a nutshell. They are full of ego with themselves. And there are some men love themselves more than they love you. Let's admit it. They will make sacrifice for themselves, their motor car, their motorbike, their hobbies, their partners. They'll do whatever it is. And you ask for a simple thing and they can't deliver. But anything that has to deal with them, they have enough money, they have enough time, they have enough investment to be able to do anything they want, but not for what you want. That's a narcissist. Yes? And they said that narcissist is most likely to cheat in relationships. That's what this psychologist lady Faye said. Because they are drawn to the thrill of secret affairs, boost their ego. They can't turn down a woman. So the fact that a woman likes or admires them, they have to go with her because that's what the narcissist is. He's just so full of himself, so glad that the next lady like him again. So he's always going to be a cheat as long as he remains a narcissist. So let me tell you, ladies, it's not your job to fix a narcissist. Not your job at all, totally. Yeah? Not your job at all. A narcissist has to fix himself from that situation. All right. So let's see if we could now go to and add so that we could tell you some of the programs that we have coming up. We have an important program coming up. It's tomorrow, actually. This program is positive intelligence. It would help some people, especially some women who have been hurt and want to recover from that hurt, because some people have been, their mind have been more or less pulverized by some relationships where they want to recover. But this is not just for relationship. This is for general in people living in life. July 19th from 7 to 8 p.m. This is a free positive intelligence introductory workshop. It introduces you to the program. It's a 7 weeks program, but it will introduce you, and that's the free one. And then you could pay for the other one. But at least you'll have a good idea. You have nothing to lose to join it. You just take your camera and take a picture of this QR code at the bottom of the screen, and it will take you to register. Okay? And that's it. Simple as that. If not, just go to my website, which is written on the screen here on the flyer, www.michaelatstewart.com, and you can register. Okay? But that's not all. We have another program coming up. This one is for boys. We want to give some emphasis to our boys, and we're dealing with boys 5 years to 10 years and 11 years to 15 years. If you have a son, a grandson, a nephew, a cousin, whatever it is, and you really want, you know, what we tend to do is wait till they hit teenager and say, you know, I think this boy need help. Don't wait till then. Because if you bend the tree while it's young, it is going to be able to grow up straighter. Try them now at this age, 5 to 10 and 11 to 15 years old. Yeah. The time that we spend money for all the frivolities of life, spend some money on your children. Spend some money on your boys. We train them. We play games with them, but we train them in emotional control, how to control their emotion, which is something that boys need. How to be able to deal with the dining etiquette, the attire, how they dress. Of course, we need a whole session for ladies. You know, people have been asking, do you want to do one for girls? There's a lady, Sean Levine, who does a marvelous program for girls. And I just feel that she is a perfect person to do training for girls. So we have not gone that route, though people have been asking us to go the route. But we tend to recommend Sean Levine's for that. Okay. So if you want to register, it's only $500. They get a snack every day. And one of the days we have a full course meal, knife and fork, ware plate, everything. Okay. So you could go to my website again, www.michaelatstewart, and get that. All right, where we are. Frida, United States, glad to have you. All right. Narcissists do not believe they have a problem to be fixed. Yes. And that's the thing. They are not even aware that they are narcissists. All right. So they have to bounce their head on their own. But what you do is distance yourself from a narcissist, because a narcissist could mess you up. It could make you feel as though you are nothing compared to how they are. You know, I read something where a girl said she went out with a guy, and after going out with him, she was telling her friends how wonderful this guy is. He's so awesome, he's so accomplished, he's so this and the other. And she said not too long after, she went out with another guy. And she was telling her friends, you know, I realized how awesome I am. Why? The first guy spoke so much about himself. She really only saw him. This second guy spoke so much about her that she saw herself. Now that is different. The narcissist was the first one. The one who understands how you reach out to people, wants to get to know you. And if you go out with a guy and he only wants to tell about his bank account, how much people he helped, how much things he do, and how much cars he own, and what position he have, and how much people respect him, and all of that, and he has to make that, I think you should just write on a pink paper and hand it and give him. A pink paper. Some of you will know what I mean by that. All right? On a pink paper and slip it to him. So it's a pink slip you're going to give him. Okay. So what we are now? Let's go to the next one. We're making some good time. Number 4. If you are with a man who is not going to commit, you're in a relationship with him, but he's not talking about commitment, he's not talking about settling down, he's not talking about solidifying the relationship, taking the relationship to another level, he's not talking about future with you all, run. You hear me? Tie up your half slip and run. Oh no, people don't wear half slip again today. Well, tie up your dress tape and run. Take off. Because that means that man is prepared to take all that he can get from you. And there's a high chance, in the end, he's likely to marry somebody else. Yes, Charmaine, put wheels on your heels. Yeah, man, and rev it. Don't stay there. What is a man doing courting with you for 5 years? 4 years even? What is it that would cause him? You're washing for him. You're cooking for him. You're cleaning out his house. Or he lived by you. You're having sex with him. Everything. But he's not going to marry you. You look for that. Tell them, I say so. You look for that. Why buy milk when you have cow? Is that the goal? No, man. Set boundaries to these men. Don't do that. You can't love so much. Let me tell you this, eh? Yeah, Josan said the man is a hit and run, and there's a song that hit and run, that hit and run song. You hear that? Never mind that song, that singer boast about being a hit and run. Why buy the cow when the milk is free? Ah, all right, Taylor. Thank you. Thank you for it. She's an encourager for foolishness. Yeah. Why, if he's going to be with you, yeah, you do all of that. You don't think that it will get stale? What is he going to marry? What is new? Answer me. What is new? If I lend you a motor car I'm going out of the country and I lend you my motor car for you to use, and you use that motor car for the 2 years I out trying to get my citizenship and all of that, and you use the motor car for 2 years, I come back and I tell you, boy, you had the car for 2 years, buy it from me now. You think he want to buy that old motor car that he used when he could just go and buy a new motor car? Now he already used up yours. That is what happens when you give a man all of that. There's no commitment in the relationship. That's why some of them end up marrying somebody else. They want something fresh on the table. But I could never understand. This I could never understand. If anybody buys something valuable, they always want a paper certifying that they are the owner of it, that they own it, that they did what was necessary and legal to have it. You buy land, you want a certificate of ownership. You demand it. Why? Because you're expended for something that is worth owning. You buy a car, you want to have a certificate of ownership, a certified copy you ask for. You line up for days at the licensing office to get your certificate of ownership. You go back 3-4 times, but you want to have it. Yes, because it is valuable. If you buy jewelry and it costs you, you want them to give you a receipt. But you will give yourself to somebody for 5 years and you don't ask for a single receipt, you don't ask for a single paper, a marriage certificate. No, man. You all might say all time. But some of you all have man so. You understand me? Because he will be forced to marry if he did not have another choice. I know some of you are not coming on this show again after. Me ain't going back on mic at night again after tonight. Yeah. All right. So, let's go now to the next one. If he's not going to commit, forget about him. Number 5. This is the man who is a cheater. Let me just recap so far for those who just joined us. We're talking about the 7 types of men a woman should stay away from. 1, a perpetual, habitual, pathological liar. 2, a man who is an emotional manipulator. He has you happy today, angry tonight. He come back and he says sorry the next morning, and he does the same thing and upset you again the afternoon. An emotional manipulator. Narcissist, only thinks about himself. Make sure he's okay. Number 4, a man who is almost has a phobia with commitment. Doesn't want to commit in any steady way. He wants to have his cake and cut his calories. You can't eat your cake and cut your calories. You'll put on weight. If you're going to eat cake, you will put on size. So therefore, commit because you're getting all the food to eat. Commit one time. And now we're on to the 5th one. An unapologetic cheater. This is the man who will cheat and cheat and cheat. And you know, there are people who are caught in relationships. The person would have cheated about 5 different times. And you stay with that man? 5 different times. You caught him, he lied, he said it wasn't, until you found the facts and you brought it to him after he said, no, something wrong with you, you must be stupid, you're going crazy or what? Where you get that from? Is your friends and them who pump in your head with that and so on, and then you show him pictures? that he sent or she sent. You show him messages that you found in his phone. You caught him red-handed in the very act. And it is only then he admit. But he might be admitting because you have cornered him. And you still saying, no man. No man. You'd have special doctors for that. Let me see what Eloise asked me here. Angel asked me to preach. I ain't called no Bible verse yet. Angel. No ring, no thing, Joanna. Take that. Yeah. Joanna, St. Vincent, man. Good evening. Eloise are hitting hard. Yes, I have to hit hard because I find that a lot of things going on. Lot of things going on. Heather say, Mr. Shaw, this topic is truthfully deep. Nothing you said is untrue about this kind of person. Now it's all up to the person on the receiving end to know when enough is enough and save their sanity. Yeah. When you're done, you're not, the woman is in no mental state to get into our next relationship because she's mentally shut. She doesn't know who to trust and she has lost self-esteem. And he would have also made her feel, the narcissist would have made her feel that he is a blessing in her life. So you can't leave me for anybody else because it's only a man like me would take you. Yeah. And just say preacher, brother. No, Eloise, Michael, what you say about some men offering marriage and the woman saying she don't want to get tied down, but she has children already. Already with the man. Eloise, let me tell you, I meet a girl. I knew her years in growing up. So as children, we grew up. I meet the girl. She has one child in her arm. She has a handbag in the next one. She's stretching down her hand and holding the next child. And another child on the other side of her, holding on to her skirt. Different heights of children. So that is 3 children. One holding on to her skirt. One where she have the handbag and she stretched down her hand, holding the hand of this next one. And one in her arms. I said, girl, with so many children you have? He said, yes. I said, are you married? He said, no, what marriage good for? What marriage good for? She said, men not serious today, you know. So I want to know, who did she make these 3 children for? Where are them? Where are they? Who in heaven's name did she make it for men not good? At which point did you recognize that a man is not good? You understand me? Yeah? One of the people who here, I told her that I would want to use her story because sometimes I get permission to use people's story. And she says to me, she has 7 children. She's in her 30s. In her 30s with 7 children. I asked her, how you end up with 7 children in your 30s? And she says to me, Mr. Short, well, you have to do something about these men not manning up. Because they're not taking care of their children and so on. They're not manning up. You see how they're blaming the man for it, eh? She has 7 children. But man not manning up. They're not minding the children and nothing. And that's a fact. But I don't want women to escape the fact that you all are culpable also. I asked her the unforgivable question. How many fathers for these 7 children? She's in her 30s. You know how many fathers for these 7 children? 6 of them. 6 fathers for 7 children. And she says, the issue is men. She hasn't seen her own self, At which point did you not recognize something was wrong here? At which point? You understand me? Man, listen. Yes, Eloise, that's what she asked me, what marriage good for. And the 3 children that the girl I just was telling you about are for 3 different men. The last man she has the one in her arms with. She's cooking, washing, having sex with him. He doesn't live there. He comes, get his sex, and goes back home. Yes, sir? No, man. Charmaine says 7 at 30 and plus years. She was a close pin. Yeah, she hung up. Yep. I'm telling you, if women are not talking to women, we will talk to you. You call those type of ladies desperate, said Sheila. Landon said, so sad. And the man is being encouraged by their counterparts and giving kudos for such. Yeah, well, as to that, Landon, when you see a man support that next man with that kind of slackness, that is our next man to stay away from. Anytime you have a man making a set of children and not mind his children, and he has a partner that supports that and does not pull him to book, that man himself is just as bad. The upholder is worse than the thief. Ayana Mackenzie said they usually say, you like to listen to people. Yes? Shaggy, it wasn't me. Marlene says she enjoys she class every Tuesday. Yes, Manuel, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Carol, my darling, sweet niece. Let me hear what Carol is saying. What is your opinion on men who claim they were forced to be married though they didn't want to? Some women state they want marriage to their men and the men after a while give in, but then when the marriage starts going bad, the men say the woman forced them into it. All right, let me deal with that one then now, Carol. A woman should never force a man into marriage. She should just set the boundaries for herself. As I told one lady, she is in the relationship with a man for 7 years. She loves him. But the man does not believe in marriage. His position is, when you marry a woman, it does break up. When you don't marry them, because they know that it is kind of unstable, they just behave themselves and stay in the relationship. But you are with the woman for 7 years. I told the lady, this is not the man's issue, this is your issue. If you have not put marriage as a requirement in the relationship, then there's no boundaries that he has to be beholden to. So I told her, listen, you can't force the man to marry you. Answering Carol's question, you cannot force the man to marry you. But you can set your own standard. And a man respects a woman who has standards. I even gave her what she could say. I said, when you go home, you could talk to the man and say to the man something like this. Honey, I love you. You know I love you. And I would want to live the rest of my life with you. Because you don't want to give him no ultimatum, no threat. You're telling him as it is. I want to live the rest of my life with you. We've been together for 7 years. But it seemed as though marriage is not on the cards. I would have liked it to be on the cards. But we are now coming to the end of the year. And as the year turns over, I am going to make a decision for myself as to what I will do with my life. I would like you to be with me on that. If you are not with me, that is okay. But this is not going to continue. I am not going to be in this relationship, in this state, in the next year. I say, don't say it with no hostility, no anger, no ultimatum. Just let him know that this is where you stand. Anyway, the lady went to, apparently she did it, because the following week, a man was in my office and introduced himself and say, I hear my wife coming here for counseling. She come and she tell me she want to move on with her life, and she says that she moving on with or without me, and she explained what it is. I said, well, and what do you say? He said, Mr. Short, I love that woman. That woman, I've never had no problem with she and her next man. The woman has take good care of me and so on. But I don't believe in marriage. I believe marriage is mash up relationship. And I said, but if she wants marriage and you do not, are you prepared, after having said you love her and you trust her so much, are you prepared to lose her on the grounds of not married? You think about it. He said, but why she have to include the marriage thing? I said, but did she insist on you marrying her? She said, no. But she will go ahead if I don't marry her. I said, well, then that is a right she has, and that's a right you have, not to marry her. He says to me, and these were his words, he says, sure, me ain't gonna get a next lady like that, you know. No lady will put up with me. That's how that lady does put up with me. You know. I can't let she go. I say, well, it's up to you. He took a paper from off my desk and he wrote on it and he handed me the paper. When I read it, it was a date. I said, what is this? He said, that's the date I'm going home and tell her that we are going to get married. For 7 years, she could not get him to commit. She set one boundary for herself. Now he gives me a date and he goes home to marry the lady. Women, you all are the ones who need to do, you all are allowing things. I don't know why is it all doing it when you're all so bright. Don't let the man carry on a string like that. So to Carol, when you see that he's not doing it, don't force the man. You understand? And if when he comes in, he said he was forced, what kind of man is that? What substance of a man will get into a marriage with a woman and turn around and say, she forced me to get married? What did she do? You weren't man enough to have a position while you're on the outside. We are doing that. We ain't supporting the women casting unnecessary blame, and we're not going to support the men casting unnecessary blame on the woman at all. All right. So sometimes we blame others when the problem is right there in our backyard. That's why, Josan. Govinda Ramlogan, good evening. Nice having you. Thank you very much for the compliment. She need iron pants. Rita, you're telling the lady to put on iron pants? Who don't want to learn will feel. Who don't hear will feel. That's what we say here, Manuel. Chef, now you're walking in my class, boy. Hey, Owen. Good evening, Owen. Nice having you. We all have choices, Patrice Stanley says. That's right. Don't let them carry us for a string. Yeah? Sheila says women need to be educated on the man behavior, and if he's not a man, keep it moving. That's right. And let me tell you, when a woman starts to put down her foot to pull a man out of that slackness of not committing and so on, some men would turn around to make her feel guilty of what she's doing, and then she backs off and say, probably I'm being too hard on him. No, you're not setting no boundaries for him. You're setting boundaries for yourself. This is what I will tolerate, and this is what I will not tolerate. I'm not going to be going in no relationship for 3-4 years. No. If you can't make up your mind for 3-4 years, then that means if you're drilling oil for 3 years and you ain't strike oil, there's no oil to strike. Drill somewhere else. I find that it's just simple. Anyway. You don't let me walk up myself. What number are we on? I don't know who was keeping track of the various topics, but if you want, you could post it. And we have 2 more. Let's see if we can keep it more. So we just dealt with that cheater, that man who just holding you on and yet cheating and so on. Number 6, the constant critic. This is the person who always finding fault with you. The man who always telling you what you do wrong and how you could have done it right, how you have no sense, what kind of woman you are, you know, no brain, you're dunce, you can't do this and so on. No, madam, you can't be so bad. There is no way you could be so bad and he choose you. No. So you want to tell me of all the women and them, you choose a woman is so much bad, you know? Don't take that. Do not take that. Yes. So, in the relationship, a man is supposed to be uplifting, commending, praising, exalting. Yes? Showing up, building a confidence. Because his existence is linked into hers. And he knows you cannot stand up the top of a ladder while you're kicking the ladder that holds you up. No wise man does that. So therefore, if you have a woman who holds you up, who lifts you up, no man, no. Don't take that. Do not take that. Tell them I say so. All right. So let me go for the final one. We already gone the hour day. I didn't plan to go so long, you know. But all right, number 7. This is what the psychologists call the serial ghoster. Serial ghoster. You know what ghosting mean? The person disappear for a long time, no reason, no understanding as to where they are, why they're not calling me, why is it that they haven't visited me? I ain't seen them at all. And I can't get them on the phone. They're not returning no calls. I seen the blue tick, but they're not answering back, or they remove the blue tick. The serial ghoster. He knows why he ghosting you. And if you're in a relationship and the person making themselves excommunicate, no, don't settle for that either. You can't just disappear off the face of the earth for 1 week and then just show up back again, girl, how you doing? I ain't see you for a long time. I was busy, you know. No. And you in a relationship with him? No, man. You ain't even, when you get married, what do you expect? If he's ghosting you like that. There's a reason why men ghost women. Anytime he get a new fling on the market, he wants to distance himself from anything that would disrupt this new fling that's going down. And his interest is now divided. He's gone. That's one of the reasons. Some of them really is because he's working hard. But at least, man, people make time for the things that are important to them. You must be able to send a text and say, girl, I'm working late, you know, we working shift and up thing and so on. And by the time I get home, I was tired. But before you go to bed, you must be able to fling a text to be able to say, girl, I'm going to sleep now. We can talk tomorrow. Don't settle for ghosting. You are not a spirit. Don't let him ghost you. So those are the 7 things, my dear people, that Miss Faye, the psychologist, says. Watch men who do that. If a man is going to be a liar, if a man is going to be a manipulator, if a man is a narcissist, if a man is not going to commit, and if a man also is a cheater, and if a man is going to be a constant critic of you, dust in his face. Okay? Just remember the 2 programs we have coming up. The positive intelligence that we are doing tomorrow, that at 7 o'clock is a free program. You could go on my website and find it. And also the boys polishing camp, where we're going to be training our boys to become men. If you have a boy, if you have a nephew, whatever it is, try and have him become that. You know that spirit? Thank you, Eloise. Now, nowadays, have cat in the kitchen, men eat and run to the next cat kitchen. Yeah, that's what's going on. Okay, Frida, next hour, you say? All right. The thing good tonight, says Sheila. People, thank you so much. God bless you. I'm looking forward to see you again. All right. So, this is Mike at Night, and we're gone. Bye-bye.